Alrighty, homies, join me. Kind of a shorter video today. Got work soon, so gotta get a little quick with it. But what a day to truly understand the meaning of what it means to be humbled. Because, oh my God, definitely was not vibing with it today. Which I'm actually happy for, because as I've talked about, I'm getting on the new... Jesus, fuck. Sorry about that, guys. I just got caught off in the middle of the road. Shit. Oh, man, that would have been a fun call out from work. Anyway, back to the gym, because we're going to ignore that I almost just crashed. I talked to you guys a little bit about how I wanted to try out doing the more basic back to my roots type training that I really like and I know that works, so that I can, balance my fatigue a bit more, because it really just hasn't been where I've wanted it to be. And oh boy, today was definitely a day to go light. I was a bit egotistical about it, and I kept convincing myself over and over. I was like, all right, well, going up to 215 and 285 on snatch and bench is nothing special anymore. I might as well add another set in there or something to make it more difficult. And I tell you guys all the time, if you are questioning what you're doing, or if you think that it might be a bit much, call someone about it, especially someone that you look up to. I got a great homie from back in Florida where I used to live that is a G at the sport. This man is wonderful at what he does, and he's always got some wonderful wisdom, man. I love a guy that'll just spit me the best kind of positivity from a fully unbiased perspective. Just whatever he's been through, he's just spitting straight facts, and I'm like, yes sir, you are completely right, and I was being stupid. Because sure, of course I know I could do the workout with an added set, but I got to remind myself that it's been a while since I've gotten to truly heavy weight. I haven't gotten to a peak week of a program in a long while, because of how much I've changed it back and forth, trying to figure out my body, see what works after the recovery of my left knee. So much back and forth. And you got to really remind yourself of what it means to commit to a program. You can't just sit there halfway through and tell yourself, like, I'm going to change everything because this one thing didn't work and I feel just slightly off. And it's that misconception that you can see true results by just going through part of the whole. You got to embrace every part of it, even if you're going to not do as well for the last half of it or the first half or whatever. You got to experience it to know what actually works for you, And oh man, it hit today. I will say I'm really, really happy for it, because I was going to go for like 2 sets of 215 and 2 sets of 285, and that would have been a mistake. My homie talked me down a bit about it, and just, you got to find that, like, why are you doing it? What purpose will actually make you stronger because of it? And it was just to satiate the ego for the most part, And it's hard to understand that in the moment when I've been training so hard and so heavy for so long, but I got to really take a step back sometimes and not let that cloud what I'm working toward. And I told you guys the priority on this program is for those few lifts every week where I get to go balls to the walls heavy, screaming my heart out. I don't want to commit to that. I can't just do that every single day. I got to have some, slightly deload-ish type days. Because I'm not going to lie, I saw 285 on bench and I'm like, what a waste of time. That's so stupid. And it felt heavy today. I'll tell you what. Let me get to the snatch first. Snatch was fun. This is a great time, because I was telling him how it's been so fun to like mess around with the complexes a good bit, but it over fatigued me because I did it in the middle of a program, and that needs to be more of a deloadish type week. Like when I get to the end of the program and I finish everything, that'd be something good to do at the end, so that I can not worry about going heavy at all and just focus all on technique in my core. And I'm gonna really, really, really try to commit to allowing myself to grow through these lifts, because my technique is at a point where it's never been better. That's amazing for me, and it means that I am peaked to try doing a whole program with just the main full lifts. That's the reason why I'm doing this and going purposefully way lighter than I'm typically used to on certain days, so that I don't overdo it on those heavy days. Ugh. And, the snatches actually did feel really good. I may have had one little whiff on, it was either 185 or 205. One of the reps just wasn't exactly where I wanted it to be. But every other rep I was actually very happy with, and it felt super heavy. 205 felt like 2 plates on a good day. And it allowed me to really lock in the technique where I needed to. Because I'll tell you what, the last set was absolutely the best set. But not only that, the last rep was beautiful. It felt so heavy and it felt real difficult, but it wasn't like me like going balls to the walls, yelling my heart out kind of intensity. It was just, I'm tired and fatigued. I got to make this rep look beautiful and amazing kind of rep, you know? It's that intensity put in a different way and a different meaning behind the actual lift rather than what I'm used to, with just trying to get stronger every single time. You got to have days where you understand that you may be weaker than normal right now, but that does not mean you aren't still at a peak, you know? It's really understanding that although you may not feel like you're as strong as you used to be, the work you're putting in now and the buildup that you're getting your potential to work toward, that's going to be what gets you to that next step when you really deserve it, when your body's really ready for it, you know? So I'm extremely happy with how that went. The bench press, I am not going to lie, wasn't great. It's not like it was bad. And judging from the video alone, it looked really good and it looked really easy. But I'll tell you what, a mental state will drag you down. And I went in there with some ego, and I walked out with some humble pie. Because, dude, oh, man. So I gave myself the idea of, like, you know, to make up for the volume on these lighter days, every single set matches whatever rep range I'm trying to do. So I was doing all doubles on snatches and all sets of 4 on bench. Now, this is all fine and dandy. But I gave myself the little ego idea of just like, hey, you know, let's just lift off every weight on our own today. Why not? I should be strong enough if it's this light. And oh boy, how stupid was that? How stupid. Oh man, when I lifted off 255, I immediately felt a slight, like not an injury tweak, but just like that slight little dull pain where I'm like, fuck, that was stupid. Right between where my front delt and my chest connects. And that is the place you do not want to feel that pain. I'll tell you what, having those little bits of like sprinkles of pain or just a little discomfort, that's a part of the sport. That's what you got to work through to get better. But when it's legitimate pins and needles, like you're getting stabbed or electrocuted kind of pain, that's when you got to stop. And today, I'm not going to lie, it felt close. I knew it was an okay kind of pain, but it was one that I put onto myself for no fucking reason other than just making myself feel like I did better than what I needed to look forward to. You know, I'm thinking too much about how hard I go right now and not enough about the main reason and the future potential I'm trying to build up. You know, I'm all about living in the moment and appreciating what I'm doing right now, but that doesn't mean I have to do my absolute maximum intensity right this second, man. You know? Man. But we did do it. I put the ego away and I took that lift off on the last one, and it felt way better. It could have felt really confident like I wanted it to, but there was no sprinkle of pain on that last one, so it really went to show, especially because I trained bench in the Olympic way, where like I had a guy came up to me today, and I love this guy. He's great. He's older. He's got some good wisdom. He was like, stop using your leg drive. Put all the stress on your shoulders and your chest. And I'm like, I get that. You know, I fully get it when it comes from a powerlifting sense where I'm just trying to focus on my upper body. But I train for Olympic lifting predominantly. So I have to use the explosive method for what I care about. You know, it's not like it's necessary and it's not what has to happen, but it's what I want to do. You know, and so if my butt's not coming off the bench, I'm using my leg drive, you know? That's just me. And with my grip so tight compared to what it could be and what it would be better at as a powerlifting kind of bench, when I do the lift off, I have to externally rotate my shoulder or my elbows, and that puts all the stress on that little mid area where my front delt and my chest connects, and that's why that little tweak happened, which was just so dumb. It did not need to happen, but that's what it's not what needed to happen in the sense of my strength gain and my programming, but it's what needed to happen in order to give me that experience and that perspective to know that needs to not happen next time, you know? You will relearn the same thing so many times, even though it seems so simple, because that little bit of ego will take over, man. I swear, I am always playing tug of war with my ego because it will take over and make you think that you are delusional and that you are not where you need to be. And it's just not true, man. You gotta have faith in the effort that you're putting in and the experience that you have, just for the sake of yourself. Truly, like you typically are where you need to be. You just have to actually commit to it, and that's why it's going to be so important for me, especially on this the rest of this training cycle, the rest of this week and all next week, when I get to that heavy stuff, that heavy stuff, I want to be ready, and I want to commit to this program for once instead of just switching it up every time I hit a little hiccup. It's not worth it. If it's genuinely too heavy and I'm fatigued all the time, I'll take it down, sure. But today was a day where I tried to pick it up, and that was not the play. You can always add more later, but save it for the next cycle. Save it for the cycle after the next cycle. Because once you add weight after doing one full program, you're not going to know where your body's at. That next set of heavy weight that you've never done before in the next months to come is going to hit you like a truck, especially if you try to add more volume set-wise or rep-wise. Anyway, physically, I'm going to give it a 7.95. It would have been a flat 8 if the bench had just gone slightly better. But I'm not going to lie to myself. The snatches were really heavy. The form was beautiful, don't get me wrong. But the snatches were heavy. And it would have been an 8, I promise you. But it's just that hiccup of me trying to force myself to do more than it's not even what I usually do. I never lift off on my own anything above 2 plates. It's just not worth it. Because I want the lift off to be effortless so that I don't risk ripping my pec off the bone. It's not worth it at all. Especially with the rotator cuff, that thing is scary as hell. If you mess that up, you got a long way of recovery, and I just got to a new peak after my knee, and I'm not trying to do that. If I need to take more time off and restart the program, I will. But I'm going to commit to what I have decided on today. I'm going to commit to it from now on. I want to hold myself to that. That's the new standard. I have to accept what I'm actually wanting to do and committing to. But anyway, mentally, I'll still give it a pretty solid 8.35. Nothing too crazy. It just, it humbled me, which is great, and that's a great experience, and that will make me better in the future, but nobody wants to get humbled. Everybody just wants to lift heavy, and that's the hardest thing. Where my buddy that I was talking to about it, he said, my mom always says that your eyes are bigger than your stomach. And that is so true. You're always going to try to eat more based off what you see than what you know from your actual experience and what your body feels. Your mind is going to take over and try to, you will involuntarily convince yourself that you are wrong about your training and that you need to do it a different way when it's just a tiny little hiccup that needs to happen in order for you to grow past it. And I told you guys, if I need to go chill out this week a bit, I will. That's not an issue. And so far, I haven't had to. And so it's really good that today was the day that I got this fresh serving of humbling. Because if this happened yesterday when I was doing the 425 by 4 on squat, yeah, that would have been an issue. So I'm going to take tomorrow's rest day extremely well. I am going to make sure I get the most of it and just enjoy myself because I need it. But yeah, we're doing great. Either way, I am still, even though I am not feeling that strong, I know that I am getting to that peak. I know that I'm picking it up. I know I'm getting to that level. It will happen. I know it. I have to believe in it in order to get there. So we're going to get there. I got to get going. It's work time, but I appreciate y'all hanging out. I know it's a little bit shorter one, but you got to do sometimes. Let me know how those lives and lifts have been going. I love hearing about it. Thanks for hearing me yep as always. But yeah, I don't want to drag it too long. I want to leave it at that. I'm committing. I'm telling you now. I'm holding myself to it. And all I need to leave it off with is I'm going to do better, and you are going to see it. Even if I don't hit the weights this week, even if I don't do what I want to do and I don't hit what feels the best, I'm going to get there. One day, somehow, through sheer passion. And that's all it is. So, day after tomorrow, heavy ass clean and jerk day. We're going to see what happens, take it step by step, and just do our best. I love you guys as always. See you later. Bye.